Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we're back with another installment of my Zodiac favorites, this time for Cancer season. So I know that I talk about being a Libra all the time, you know that, but I actually have a Cancer moon and it is the most dominant sign in my birth chart, so I heavily identify with this sign. Therefore, I was very excited to work on this video, so I'll save more of my thoughts at the end. For now, let me show you my favorites. The first polish I have is Painted Polish's You Razz My Berries, which I chose to represent the beautiful ruby birthstone. So a few people actually mentioned in my Gemini video about how they loved the Gemini birthstones more for Cancer, and I do think I agree with that. Like, I would consider Moonstone more of a Cancer birthstone than Ruby, because Ruby just gives me Leo vibes because of the opulence and royalty, but the deep red color also reminds me of how intensely passionate and loving Cancers can be. If you have a Cancer partner or even a Cancer friend, they usually are like the mom friend, so they care about everybody and want to make sure everyone's taken care of, so you definitely know that you're loved by a Cancer. Next, I have Cirque's Moonbeam, since Cancers are ruled by the moon, which rules over the unconscious mind, habits, reactions, and of course, emotions. So I mainly chose this one for the name, but I love the gold shimmer in this off-white crelly base. I know we normally might think of silver or gray for the moon. I don't know how to explain it, but this shade just reminds me of a romanticized version of the moon, where it's magical and sparkles and has this really ethereal quality to it. It's just so comforting, and it reminds me of how luminous a full moon is, where you just want to tell it your secrets. The next shade I chose was Mooncat's Hermit Crab, since Cancers are the crabs of the zodiac. I know a hermit crab is technically a different animal, but being a hermit, or rather a homebody, is a very Cancerian trait. Cancers love all things that have to do with the home. It's just where they feel the most comfortable, but sometimes they can take it a bit too far, since they tend to retreat into their shells and can shut everyone out. It can be difficult to understand this crabby sign, or even difficult to approach them with their claws, but just remember, underneath the hard shell is definitely a super soft interior. Next up, I have Wish I Hadn't Cried So Much, which, oh my god, I have never seen a more perfect shade for a sign. Cancers are also known as the crybabies of the zodiac, and as a Cancer moon myself, I just can't think of a more fitting polish. Cancers are a water sign, and you can definitely tell that once the waterworks come on. I'm definitely an easy crier, but I don't just cry when I'm sad. It really can be over anything at all. I've cried over cute cat videos and seeing the baby ducks that live near our apartment. So happy tears are definitely real, and I view this shade as a beautiful tribute to Cancer's sensitivity. It took me a long time to embrace my sensitivity and not be ashamed of it, because for a long time I definitely was ashamed of how much I would cry. I was made to feel like it was a weakness, and that's just a really sad and unfortunate thing that I believed for far too long. So even if I wish I hadn't cried so much, I am still very grateful for being able to feel all of the feels. And lastly, I picked Cirque's Moodstone, which is this super beautiful and shifty blue multi-chrome shimmer. Like I mentioned, Cancers are very emotional and reactionary signs. One minute they might be happy, but it can shift in an instant. Having a shifty polish inspired by mood rings just felt very appropriate, but I especially love this one for the beautiful blue that it is, since it calls back to their element being water. And it makes me think of the open ocean and how their waters can either be super still and calming and beautiful, or a little dark and stormy and honestly kind of scary sometimes. I feel like it's very easy and almost common to just underestimate cancers because they are just so known for being gentle and loving creatures. But the minute that you cross them, or especially come after somebody that they love and care about, you need to be careful because they, again, have those claws that they will not be afraid to use. So all in all, cancers are definitely big babies, but it's ultimately because they care, and you always want someone like that in your life. And here is the full lineup of my Cancer favorites. I just really love this lineup. It's obviously very fun and summery and beachy, but it really represents the crabby sign so well. So that wraps up my favorites for Cancer season. As always, I would love to know what your thoughts are on my lineup, especially if you're a Cancer yourself, because I feel really good about this. Again, I am biased because I have a Cancer moon and I heavily identify with this placement of mine. Also, let me know how you've been feeling this Cancer season and if you've been feeling any more sensitive maybe, because I definitely have been. Like I said, I'm an easy crier, and so I just get so overwhelmed with emotion at like the smallest thing, even if it's something positive or cute especially. So yeah, if you are like that, then big shout out to you and sending hugs because it can definitely be a lot to just have all of these emotions for my body sometimes. But yeah, definitely let me know any thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.